Fashion and textile industry is the second largest sector in Africa with a value of 31 billion US dollars, with Nigeria owning about 15% of that. And of course, we have new and dynamic brands bringing life into the sector, especially in Nigeria. Today, we focus on the business of fashion. Welcome to SME Hub. My name is Omobolanle Adeshi. Today's edition of the show is going to be quite interesting, and that's because I have a set of twins. Actually, I have a twin here, Peter Konye, co-founder Konye. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
It's interesting, you know, to see a set of twins owning a venture. How did you start? What brought about the whole idea?
Okay, growing up, we more like fashion addicts. We are fashion bugs way back in the university. We like to look good. We like to dress up. We like taking pictures. And eventually we evolved into what we have now as Konye brand.
Which is, of course, an abbreviation of your name, isn't it?
Yeah,
Konye
brand was coined out from our son name because, of course, we're in business together. And we thought us we might just use the son name as the brand name. So we just took out the O and we have Konye today.
Interesting. So you know how it is that sometimes they say it's money that spoils friendship or something like that. Have you ever had issues like that? How has it been working together with your twin brother?
It's been a very rocky ride. It's not easy. Nothing near easy at all because we always have conflicts of ideas, conflict of business decisions. For instance, Paul is the business manager. I'm more of the creative director. And Paul has a business mindset. Let's
talk about Nigeria as a whole. Doing business in this economy, what are the challenges you faced?
You know, today, like 40% of the graduates from school want to do fashion. And what I would advise is that, you know, I would advise you start whatever you're doing from the comfort of your house. You see, because it's really, really expensive to establish a fashion brand now in Nigeria. We're talking about the cost of getting a factory, cost of getting an outlet where people could come and, you know, view your products and all that. And even the running cost of that setup when you are not even sure of who is going to buy yet. It's another cost that you need to have, you know, generated or gotten funds for. You know, right now, electricity is not so good around this place at all, and now it's even very expensive. And if the other option, which is the alternative source of power, it's even more expensive
to get diesel.
And again, you still need to market your products. For instance, you do a beautiful design and you won't end up showing it to just your family members. You need to employ advertising agents. It's really, really expensive to do fashion right now. But what I always advise anybody intending to go into fashion, you start from the comfort of your house and look for ways to, you know, look for, you know, bloggers. You know, there are cheap ways to advertise your products.
Like on social media.
Like on social media, heavy on social media. Eventually, when you start having clients that are already in your books, that you're sure that maybe the next month they will make another, you have a couple of clients that you know that can sustain you personally first, then you now start thinking about how to, you know,
expand,
make it a structure it as a business, because you need to have some form of guaranteed income, which will eventually help you to survive. It's really rugged here in Nigeria. That's the truth.
So let's talk about how you've been able to weather the storm, because some businesses, statistics shows that because of all of the challenges you mentioned, like the diesel issue, the power issue and everything, that some businesses have actually shut down. How do you keep yourself going?
Okay, like I said earlier, we started this business at the comfort of my living room. Then when I was still working in the bank, some 13 years ago, that's where the whole thing started. And eventually, of course, I've already taken out the cost of getting a factory, the cost of getting a showroom. Do you understand? So as I'm going to work, I take some of my designs, and it's not enough for you to be ambitious, have the passion. I want to do fashion. At some point, you need to go for training. You need to be also
Shouldn't
gifted.
training be the first thing? Because you're saying that at some point you go for training. Shouldn't training come first?
You need to get a desire first.
Okay.
You need to get a desire. Then you now go and develop it. That is the training. So, like as I was saying, I was gifted. But I still went for training. I was, like I told you earlier, I'm a gifted painter. But I still
so you don't do sewing at all?
I
You
started
do more
as
of the creativity.
I started as a tailor. Funny enough.
Okay.
Yes, so I tailored most of the clothes that I was selling back 10 years ago.
Okay.
It's maybe like 8 years now that I stopped tailoring. I just end up directing, design and direct. You see, back to your question, what was it, the question? You
were talking about how you weathered the storm of the challenges.
Yes. Like I said, I started the whole business from the comfort of my house. So a lot of costs that an intending entrepreneur would face right now, I took all that out. Already got a lot of clients within my the comfort zone of my house. Got enough clients that will sustain even. First of all, got a smaller space before getting this property. Got a smaller space that we could manage, and from that place we started growing the business gradually.
But let's talk about your capital. How did you start? Where did you get the capital from? How much, how little, or how much did you put into it?
Now, for fashion, I'm not talking about any other business. For fashion, fashion doesn't require so much capital to get into. That is, if you want to follow the steps that I am recommending, unless you want to jump into it as a business. So you now start sourcing for funds to get space, get this, get that. I always advise you start organically. You start small. You start from the comfort. You start from what you don't have. You just need just enough to get a fabric. You can even start from there.
How about the sewing machine?
Hold on.
Okay.
Now, as a budding entrepreneur, I won't even advise you to start getting what you don't have money to get. There are tailoring hubs around, I don't know where this is, around Lagos, where you could actually, after selling your design, selling your idea, you go to a tailor hub, they produce your clothes, and you can take that and go and sell. You don't need to have bought a machine to do that. You just pay the tailor. The tailor, you make sure, because you know what you're looking for, the standard is good, check all that and go and sell. You can continue like that for a while. Start making money first. That's why I said you don't need any setup actually to get into this business. You can continue like that for a while. Gradually you start growing organically. You cannot get your own machine. You cannot get a tailor. That is, if you are not tailoring yourself, you cannot employ a tailor. But before you can employ a tailor, you would have had the guarantee of, okay, this client, they order today, they order this month, and I'm sure I'm getting at least 100,000 naira from this set of people every month. That is where you can add, okay, I will pay my machinist maybe 30,000 naira a month, 40,000 naira a month. I bring the idea. That's how the business starts gradually, and it eventually becomes a structured business. You don't need, because a lot of people miss it. A lot of people will fail when you want to jump into a business heavily, especially this kind of business that has to do with talent. You can just come and invest heavily into this, and you start having problems. Why are people not buying from me? You didn't understand the basics. You didn't go through the foundation. You wanted to do a business.